The sun had barely risen over Grandpa Hank's Texas ranch when another certified letter arrived in the mailbox. It was the third HOA notice in just 2 weeks. Hank smiled, folded the paper into his pocket, and went back to feeding his cattle as if nothing had happened. Across town, HOA President Linda Brooks was furious. She believed Hank's ranch was lowering nearby property values, even though it had existed long before the subdivision. Determined to prove her authority, she planned another visit. An hour later, Linda's red SUV rolled onto the dusty ranch entrance. She stepped out confidently, carrying another stack of violation notices. Hank simply tipped his cap and greeted her with a polite smile. Linda began reading HOA rules aloud, insisting Hank remove several pieces of ranch equipment. Hank listened patiently without interrupting. The ranch hands quietly watched from a distance. Hank calmly explained that his ranch was located outside the HOA's legal authority. Linda refused to listen. Instead, she threatened fines and legal action if he didn't comply immediately. Without raising his voice, Hank invited Linda to walk around the property before making assumptions. Reluctantly, she agreed, convinced she would find more violations. As they walked deeper into the ranch, Linda complained about every little detail. Hank simply smiled, answering each question with patience and decades of experience. They eventually stopped beside an old septic storage system that had served the ranch for years. Hank explained how the equipment worked and reminded Linda to keep a safe distance. Ignoring the warning, Linda stepped closer while arguing loudly. The ranch workers exchanged worried glances, sensing that her impatience could create an unnecessary problem. Just as the argument reached its peak, an unexpected mechanical issue caused the old hose to jerk violently. Everyone instinctively stepped back, unsure what would happen next. The moment froze as both sides stared in surprise. The hose whipped sideways as pressure escaped from a loose coupling. Hank reacted instantly, shutting down the pump before anyone could get hurt. Linda stumbled backward, shocked that the situation had changed so quickly. A small splash of muddy wastewater landed near Linda's expensive heels. She gasped in disbelief, lifting her skirt slightly to avoid the mud. Hank apologized for the unexpected equipment malfunction and checked that everyone was safe. Embarrassed by the incident, Linda blamed Hank instead of the aging equipment. She demanded compensation and insisted the ranch should be shut down immediately. Hank quietly reminded her that accidents can happen anywhere. One ranch worker replayed the security camera footage on his phone. The video clearly showed Hank warning Linda several times to stay behind the safety markers. The nearby workers nodded, knowing exactly what had happened. Linda fell silent for a moment after seeing the recording. She realized everyone had witnessed the warning she ignored. Still unwilling to admit her mistake, she quickly walked back toward her SUV. Before leaving, Linda threatened to report the ranch to every local authority she could think of. Hank simply smiled and wished her a safe drive home. His calm response only made her more frustrated. Later that evening, Deputy Mike Carter arrived after receiving a routine report about the equipment malfunction. He listened carefully to everyone involved before reviewing the security footage himself. After reviewing the footage, Deputy Carter confirmed that Hank had followed proper safety procedures. The incident appeared to be an unfortunate mechanical failure, not intentional misconduct. Everyone appreciated the calm and professional assessment. As the deputy prepared to leave, he encouraged both sides to resolve future disagreements through proper legal channels. Hank agreed immediately. Linda, still frustrated, nodded without saying much. Driving away from the ranch, Linda couldn't stop thinking about the security footage and the deputy's conclusion. For the first time, she wondered whether she had let her pride cloud her judgment. Meanwhile, Grandpa Hank returned to feeding his cattle, ending the day exactly where it had begun, with quiet confidence. The following Monday, Linda arrived at the county planning office carrying a thick folder filled with complaints. She was determined to prove that Grandpa Hank's ranch was violating local regulations. Confident in her arguments, she requested an official inspection. County officials politely reviewed the documents before asking a simple question. They wanted proof that the HOA actually had authority over Hank's ranch. Linda hesitated as she searched through her paperwork. Meanwhile, Grandpa Hank continued repairing fences with his grandson. He wasn't worried about the complaints because he had carefully kept every property record for decades. Experience had taught him that preparation always matters. That afternoon, a county inspector visited the ranch for a routine inspection. Hank welcomed him warmly, offering a tour of the property before answering every question with complete honesty. The inspector carefully examined the septic system, storage buildings, and livestock facilities. Everything appeared clean, organized, and properly maintained. Hank's years of hard work were visible in every corner of the ranch. Hank then opened a large filing cabinet filled with permits, inspection reports, and maintenance records. The inspector smiled, impressed by how organized everything was. Every document was exactly where it needed to be. Later that day, the inspector drove to Linda's subdivision to compare property boundaries. After checking official county maps, he discovered that Hank's ranch was completely outside the HOA's jurisdiction. When Linda received the inspector's preliminary findings, her confidence quickly faded. The county records clearly showed that the ranch had never been part of the HOA. She realized her case was beginning to fall apart. Instead of celebrating, Grandpa Hank simply returned to his daily routine. He believed that respecting the law was more important than winning an argument. The ranch continued operating peacefully as always. As the sun set over the ranch, Linda stared quietly at the official county documents resting on her desk. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another HOA story. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to hear from you.